Good morning, I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, eyes on the finish line. Both Democrats and Republicans are preparing for a packed weekend of campaigning with just 4 days until Election Day. The crucial battleground state of Pennsylvania will host 3 presidents, Biden, Trump, and Obama, but a name arguably just as big as those just endorsed a candidate in the tight Senate race there. We're going to tell you all about it. Plus, the push to get out the vote in another key state, Georgia. We'll show you what's driving a record number of early voters there. Back home, new this morning, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband is out of the hospital 1 week after he was attacked inside their home. All of this as NBC News learns new information about what was happening inside as police arrived at the scene. Also this morning, getting to work. New jobs numbers out this morning showing just where the U.S. stands with job creation and unemployment. We'll show you what those numbers mean for soaring prices and the potential recession. Plus, who wants to be a billionaire? Well, probably all of us. Someone could be $1.5 billion richer by the end of this weekend. The latest on the massive Powerball jackpot. And should you quick pick or not quick pick? We're going to take a look at whether there's really any way you can increase your odds of taking home the prize.
You're going to do it?
I do the office pools because, as I mentioned to you, I'm terrified of the concept of the office pool winning and me not being included.
I know. And
how about you?
Me thinking about that. I haven't been invited to any. You're doing that with not this team.
Yeah, different groups. So,
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Now I'm like,
we can create an office.
I can't wait to hear the answer on the quick pick thing because I'm like, maybe I'll just go do that on the way home.
Yeah. There you go. It's quick.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're going to begin with the midterm elections. There are just 4 days left. Both sides are sprinting to the finish line with a packed weekend of campaigning.
That's right. One of the busiest states will be the battleground of Pennsylvania, where 3 presidents will be on the trail. There they are, rallying support after a major endorsement in the state's Senate race. NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander starts us off in Philadelphia.
Good morning to you. It is crunch time here in Pennsylvania and, frankly, around the country. Those political power players all converging on this state this weekend. Presidents Obama, Biden, and Trump. Purple Pennsylvania, a perfect snapshot of some of the neck-and-neck races that'll determine control of Congress.
Heading into the final weekend before the midterms, a surprise endorsement overnight in the Pennsylvania Senate race, with Oprah Winfrey publicly backing Democrat John Fetterman over former TV star Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz.
I said it was up to the citizens of Pennsylvania, and of course, but I will tell you all this, if I lived in Pennsylvania, I would have already cast my vote for John Fetterman for many reasons.
Winfrey gave Oz his start in TV nearly 20 years ago before the heart surgeon launched his own talk show in 2009. The Oz campaign responding overnight, writing, Dr. Oz loves Oprah and respects the fact that they have different politics. He believes we need more balance and less extremism in Washington. It comes as a trio of presidents, both past and present, are set to converge on Pennsylvania. President Biden will reunite with his longtime political partner, former President Obama, tomorrow in Philadelphia, looking to give a late boost to Fetterman. Oz will welcome former President Trump to the other side of the state near Pittsburgh. Mr. Trump overnight returning to the trail in Iowa, where 89-year-old Republican Senator Chuck Grassley is facing his toughest re-election fight in 4 decades, clinging to a slim lead over Democrat Mike Franken.
This Tuesday, you must vote Republican in a giant red wave.
Mr. Trump attacking his successor after President Biden blamed him for fueling a rise in political violence, centered around Mr. Trump's repeated lie that the 2020 election was stolen. Mr. Trump also teasing another presidential run in 2024.
And now, in order to make our country successful and safe and glorious, I will very, very, very probably do it again, okay? Very, very, very.
With Democrats at risk of losing control of Congress, President Biden is steering clear of key battlegrounds out west, instead visiting typically blue strongholds, New Mexico and California, in an effort to protect vulnerable incumbents.
This is a choice between 2 vastly different visions of America.
The bottom line here is these are super competitive races in some of those key battlegrounds, like Pennsylvania, for example. A new poll this morning of definite voters showing a 6-point advantage for John Fetterman, but that has shrunk in recent days. In Arizona, Blake Masters is trailing the Democrat incumbent senator there, Mark Kelly, by a few points. And then look at Georgia right now, literally neck and neck, effectively a tie between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, the Democrat sitting senator in that state. If neither one of those candidates gets 50% on Tuesday, they'll have a runoff again next month. Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you so much.
Let's focus on that last one Peter mentioned, the key battleground state of Georgia now, where early voting has been underway for several days, but it ends across the state today. And so far, the turnout has been staggering. Nearly 2.2 million votes have been cast so far in Georgia alone between early and absentee voting. That's more than a 30% increase in turnout compared to the 2018 midterms. NBC News correspondent Blaine Alexander is in Marietta, Georgia, with the latest on this. Blaine, good morning to you. So first, let's talk about this historic turnout. Do we know what's driving people to do this, and do we know if it could benefit one candidate over the other in some of the key races there?
Well, Joe, you know, habits and patterns are changing. When I've talked to voters that have come out during this early voting period, a number of them have told me kind of the same thing. They don't want to run into any issues on Election Day. So some people are using this as a sort of insurance policy, essentially saying that if there are any problems, if there are any lines or anything like that, they still have some time to get things sorted out and make sure that they can cast their ballot. A couple of people have told me that they're just that enthusiastic. They know who they want to vote for. They want to get out, get it done, and then kind of check that off of their to-do list. Now, as for who this is benefiting, that's been an interesting thing to look at this entire time. Typically, when we talk about early voting, it's something that we hear Democrats pushing, but that has changed a little bit this time around. When I've been on the trail with incumbent governor, Republican Governor Brian Kemp, he really has been pushing that early voting message as well, essentially trying to get his supporters out, get them to the ballots early. When I've talked to Democrats, they're looking, specifically people from Stacey Abrams' team, they tell me that they're looking at the fact that black turnout has been good. In fact, it's outpacing what we've seen at this point from back in 2018 just by a little bit. So they're looking at that as a positive sign for their campaign, Joe.
So, Blaine, despite the record turnout, you got Stacey Abrams, the Democratic candidate for governor there, who's been vocal about continued voter suppression across the state. It's a complaint she had in the last election. What can you tell us about her concerns, the impact it could have, and the reaction to that?
You know, one thing, when we first started seeing these record-breaking early voting numbers, we asked her about that. And the thing that she said, and she said at a rally as well, is that just because there are more people in the water doesn't mean sharks don't exist. So essentially, you know, she's kind of pointing to the fact that there are many more voters now than there were back in 2018, about 1.6 million more voters now. And so she's saying that doesn't mean, because we're seeing this record-breaking turnout, doesn't mean that there aren't still barriers or problems. She says that people are voting in spite of what she's pointing to as issues and obstacles. Take a look at what she told us the other day.
The right to vote belongs to every American. And unfortunately, this Secretary of State and this governor did not like the outcome of the 2020 elections, and so they changed the laws in 2021 to game the system. They put barriers in place that did not need to exist, and they've made it more difficult for voters. I'm so proud of the voters who are showing up despite the obstacles. But we know that their turnout is an example of their strength and their fortitude and their resilience, and it is in spite of SB 202.
Now, Joe, I have to say Republicans are pushing back on that very strongly. Republican Brian Kemp says that the record turnout shows that all of the protests and all of the concern over SB 202, the new voting law here in Georgia, he says that the turnout shows that that was not founded, that in their words, it makes it easier for people to actually get out, go to the ballot. And that's something that the Republican Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, has been saying as well.
And Blaine, I know you've been talking with voters. What are the key issues for them right now?
You know, what's interesting, on both sides, we're seeing people kind of pointing back to the same things. We're talking about economy, abortion, and also guns. That's something that's come up a lot here in Georgia as well. Here's a little bit from supporters at both Stacey Abrams events and Brian Kemp events. Take a look.
Sure. If there was one issue over all the others that's important to you when you go to cast a ballot, what is that issue?
Women's rights. Women's rights. I just feel that no one should have any say in what you do in your personal life.
What is the most important issue for you?
Well, the economy for one, and my gun rights. I believe in the Second Amendment. We should be able to bear arms. I own a gun. I have a carrying permit, and I want to keep it that way.
And Joe, I've got to say, when we've been to different parts through the state, we're talking about metro Atlanta, some of the rural areas down in South Georgia. Those are the issues that continue to come up when I speak to voters.
Issues old and new, important to voters. All right, Blaine, thank you so much. And don't forget to keep it here on News Now for all your Decision 2022 coverage. We have results and analysis all through the night until the last race is called. Kicks off Tuesday at 6 o'clock. We'll also have full coverage that morning and the morning after right here on Morning News Now.
Yes, we will. All right, now to the latest in the attack on Paul Pelosi. It's been a week since police received the call about the brutal attack. Now we're getting new details on what happened moments after police responded to the emergency. Here's NBC News national correspondent Miguel Almaguer.
When officers initially arrived here at the Pelosi home a week ago today, it was unclear what was unfolding. They knew they had a high priority call on their hand. What was unclear, what was happening inside the house just behind me.
This morning, Paul Pelosi is home, back at the house that became a crime scene a week ago today. NBC News learning new details about the moments police arrived. Sources familiar with what unfolded in the Pelosi residence now revealing when officers responded to the high priority call, they were seemingly unaware they'd been called to the home of the Speaker of the House. After a knock and announce, the front door was opened by Mr. Pelosi. The 82-year-old did not immediately declare an emergency or try to leave his home, but instead began walking several feet back into the foyer toward the assailant and away from police. It's unclear if the 82-year-old was already injured or what his mental state was, say sources. According to court documents, when the officer asked what was going on, defendant smiled and said everything's good. But instantaneously, a struggle ensued as police clearly saw David DePape strike Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer. After tackling the suspect, officers rushed to Mr. Pelosi, who was lying in a pool of blood.
What we do know is he brutally attacked Mr. Pelosi and attempted to kill him.
After spending several days in the ICU, Pelosi, who is recovering from a fractured skull and serious injuries to his arm and hand, is now home, where Capitol Police remain on alert. Investigators have previously said Pelosi did not know DePape when the 42-year-old broke into his home. Why Pelosi didn't try to flee or tell responding officers he was in distress is unclear.
Fear takes over. Fear freezes people.
This morning, the 82-year-old lucky to be alive after an intruder nearly killed him in his own home.
Law enforcement experts tell us everyone reacts differently during stressful and high-intensity situations. It's still unclear what happened between Mr. Pelosi and the suspect when they were alone inside that house for nearly 30 minutes. We reached out to all the investigative agencies, and none would go into new details about the incident. Back to you.
All right, Miguel, thank you so much.
Now to the Brooklyn Nets announcement that they are suspending Kyrie Irving for 5 games without pay.
Yeah, the team's statement came after a turbulent week in which the All-Star posted a link to an anti-Semitic video on Twitter and declined to apologize. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk has more on this.
Hey there, Kyrie Irving has been a controversial player for a while, refusing to get vaccinated during the pandemic and embracing flat earth theories in the past. But now his own team has said he's, quote, unfit to be associated with the Nets. Though he apologized overnight, it remains to be seen if it's too little too late. Overnight, Kyrie Irving apologizing after a firestorm of criticism and a 5-game suspension without pay from the Brooklyn Nets. Last week, the NBA star, who has a huge social media following, posted a link to a movie that embraces anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and denies the Holocaust. Irving now writing, "To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize." But it comes after days of combative appearances, including a press conference Thursday, in which Irving did not offer a full apology and refused to answer whether he had anti-Semitic beliefs.
I don't know how the label becomes justified, because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
His team in the NBA frustrated. The Nets writing, "We were dismayed today that Kyrie refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film." Irving's overnight apology now saying, "I want to clarify any confusion on where I stand fighting against anti-Semitism by apologizing for posting the documentary without context." Rapper Kanye West, who has prominently expressed anti-Semitic beliefs in the past few weeks, weighing in on this controversy before the suspension was announced, tweeting out Irving's photo.
We have NBA stars, we have hip-hop entertainers, all contributing to an environment in which anti-Semitism is unambiguously elevated at levels we literally haven't seen in about 45 years. That's scary.
It comes at a time of heightened fears about anti-Semitism. The New Jersey FBI division tweeting this week that it has received credible information of a broad threat to synagogues in New Jersey. For the Jewish community, the threats making it all the more urgent to fight public anti-Semitism. Irving and the Nets have also said they'll donate $500,000 each to anti-hate organizations. The team said Irving would be suspended without pay for at least 5 games, and until he takes measures to address the harmful aspects of his conduct. Back to you.
All right, Stephanie, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Steph. Now to the Powerball. If you have yet to buy a ticket, there's still time before tomorrow's drawing.
With $1.5 billion now in the pot and the possibility of breaking new records, the stakes are raised, to put it mildly, as hopeful folks are getting out buying tickets, hoping to beat those really big odds.
Well, I made negative about it, Joe. All right, NBC News correspondent Gotti Schwartz is live here in New York City, by the way, with more on this historic jackpot. Gotti, that probably means you're in a bodega. Tell us what you're seeing, how people are feeling. How does this compare with some other mega jackpots?
Yeah, so this mega jackpot could already have broken records. Remember, this is an estimated jackpot at this point, $1.5 billion. The biggest jackpot ever was $1.58 billion back in 2016. So this one is up there, and obviously that brings a lot of people out of the woodwork. They come in here, they say the reason why no one's hit it in 39 consecutive draws is because I haven't played my lucky numbers. So they come in with their hard-earned money and they say, "One lottery ticket, please," and then they cross their fingers. They hope they're not going to lose that lottery ticket between now and tomorrow, and then they check the numbers, and let's see here. We've got some good numbers, some 1, 21,
don't give them away, Gotti. Gotti, we don't want other...
This is all going to charity. I mean,
you'll have to share it with other people.
Right? This isn't going to be ours. You guys want to know how much $1.5 billion is? This blows my mind. We're going to step outside here. We're in New York. The sun is coming up, and I want to show you something. So let's pretend that this $1 bill wasn't $1. Let's pretend it's $100 bills.
Okay.
And let's say we take it on the ground, we stack $100 bills all the way up. See this building over here? This is a New York pipsqueak. It's only like 50 stories, 46 stories, so 500 feet. So that $100 bill stack would go all the way to the top of that. Then we'd have to stack 3 more of those buildings on top of that, and that still wouldn't give us $1.5 billion. That would give us a little bit closer to the $750 million that you take home in a lump sum, and that is why logic goes completely out the window when we're talking about $1.5 billion. Guys,
Gotti, something tells me you would actually do that if you won the jackpot, right?
Yeah,
like you would
make a Lego
the skyscraper
thing out of money.
$100 bills.
Exactly. Yeah, I would be building mini skyscrapers all over the place. And we're, I'm going back to California, and you don't have to build this high to impress people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we'd have money skyscrapers all over.
So here's the thing we've been teasing. We want to know if you play the quick pick versus doing your own numbers. Do you have a better chance of one or the other?
Great question. Tell us.
Look, here's why quick pick is a lot better. So when you buy one lottery ticket, that is one fiscally irresponsible decision that you're probably making, and it's quick pick, so the computer does all the work, and then you can get mad at the computer when you lose. If you actually fill out all of the numbers, that is like 6 fiscally irresponsible decisions, plus the $2 that you spend. That's 7 decisions. You don't want that type of responsibility. Just go in, kiss that $2 goodbye, and if you do win, then, you know, you celebrate and you don't tell anybody, and you get some lawyers, and then you get some
don't
tax
tell
people.
anybody.
And then I was just looking at the Instagram on the Today Show, and they say, and you want to get a therapist as well. So
yes,
that's more money, more problems.
Okay, so Gotti just gave us not a statistical answer to that question, but a philosophical, I think, answer to the question.
Yeah. So quick pick, I think, is what you said to me. All right, Gotti. A little tip, also an insider tip from a New Yorker. If you want to just at least win your morning, maybe not the Powerball, go back in there and add a bacon, egg, and cheese to your order from that bodega, and then you'll be happy anyway, even if you lose.
Perfect advice. I'm going to go get that right now.
All right. Bye, Gotti. Love you. Thank you.
All right. Time to get a check on your morning news now. Weather.
Bill Cairns is back with us. Hello, Bill.
See, it's about buying the ticket, and then it's like you just, for the half hour or so you dream about what you would do. And that's the entertainment, right? That's the entertainment value. You know you're not going to win, but you can live in a fantasy world for like 2 minutes.
Bill, I am just imagining you buy this ticket, you win the lottery, and then you go run the marathon. Like, it would be like the greatest weekend ever.
Yeah, for me, that would be without the marathon.
See, I've already thought it all out. If I ever win, I'm going to like put it in a safe deposit box and not tell anyone for like a whole year, just because I want to hear all the news outlets trying to figure out who the winner was. So that's my strategy.
Bill, we knew you would have a hot take on the lottery coming right after this. That's a good one.
I'm cruel. All right, so let's get into this major weekend roundup. This is going to be unseasonably warm. We're going to see temperatures near records, or if not topping records, in areas from the Great Lakes today. The Midwest, St. Louis could be 80 degrees, and that's all heading towards the East Coast. I mean, some of the leaves are even down in northern New England, and at least if you're raking, it's actually going to be very mild. Sometimes you could be raking in almost the snow this time of year. So all the little red dots on this map are cities, at least 60 of them, with potential record highs from now through Monday. So you get an idea. This is a very unusually warm stretch. You can notice it's in the low 70s in New York City. Boston could be 75 by the time we get to Sunday. And you notice Charleston's at 80 degrees. Norfolk's at 77. Now let's take a change. We're going to start focusing on the West. We've been talking about drought for, years, decades, and we still have a huge drought that's ongoing. A lot of it in Central California. It spreads through Nevada, Utah. Not quite as bad in areas of the Pacific Northwest, still a little bit, though. And this is the beginning of our rainy season. We welcome every storm that we're going to get this fall and into the winter. This is a good one to start, especially the Cascades. The Olympics are getting a lot of rain and snow, and even portions of central and northern California, and the Sierra is going to get some too. I mean, you're going to see a lot of pictures from your favorite ski resorts in the West, from Jackson Hole all the way back up through Idaho, Montana, and even in the Cascades too, because they're going to get about 6 to 12 inches of snow by the time this weekend is over with. And this storm system, it's already started. It's a rainy morning for you in Seattle and Portland. Driving down I-5 is going to be definitely a soggy, wet ride. The snow is only at the highest of elevations. So let's get to Savannah's favorite part of the Friday. It's her weekend forecast. As we head through your Saturday, sunny and warm, no problems on the East Coast. Look for a beautiful Saturday, unusually warm. Even the morning will be warm. It's not even like like today, it's kind of chilly to start and it'll be warm finish. It's actually going to get humid as we go throughout the weekend. Then a little bit of heavy rain down along the Gulf Coast. We talked about our western storm. We'll be dealing with the rain and snow. And then on Sunday, just about everyone from the Rockies to the East Coast is looking gorgeous. It should be beautiful. It should be warm. No problems whatsoever. And of course, I have to show, every weather person is required to show their cheesy fallback clock graphic this time of year. Don't forget to do that as we go into your Sunday morning. So it's kind of good. The only people that complain about the time change are the people with little kids, because they don't know. They'll wake you up at 4 a.m. asking you to go play, even though you know it's supposed to be later.
Even though you know.
Well, with that, we wish you all the best, Bill.
Yes.
In the marathon this weekend with that extra hour of sleep.
Please stay hydrated
and that lottery
safe.
ticket in your lockbox.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Bill, we're so excited for you.
Exactly.
Can't wait to hear about it. Good luck. And coming up on Morning News Now, the new tool in the fight against the opioid epidemic.
The new guidelines for doctors about prescribing the drugs to patients. How the new rules can help manage pain and prevent addiction. Next. Welcome back. The CDC has released new guidelines for opioids prescribed to patients living with chronic pain.
That's right. The 100-page document is a response to recent backlash from patients who struggled under the previous advice.
NBC News senior medical correspondent Dr. John Torres joins us now with more on this. Dr. Torres, good to have you with us. So the CDC has previously said the opioid guidelines that were introduced in 2016 were not followed correctly. What are the goals of these new guidelines, and how have these recommendations changed?
And Joe and Savannah, good morning. And you're right, in 2016, they issued guidelines, which as a physician, I know other physicians I worked and talked with, said, okay, this is great. We're finally getting some information from the CDC about how we should be working with opioids, and gives us some information about how to manage opioids, especially for people with pain. But what happened essentially is, prior to that, it was essentially this opioid epidemic of crisis of, deaths and overdoses from opioids, and not really a lot of attention paid to it at that time. The CDC did this, but it swung the pendulum too far in this case. And a lot of people are saying, like you mentioned, patients weren't getting their chronic pain addressed. Physicians' hands were tied to a certain extent as to what they could do. And administration and other entities were coming in saying, hey, you can't prescribe these because the CDC says not to do it. Well, the CDC in this point said, okay, we're going to readdress this, and we're going to make it so people now understand, which in 2016 they said this, but nobody really paid attention to it, is these are just guideline recommendations. The physician and the patient need to determine what needs to be done at that point. And so they've broadened it up a little bit, brought that pendulum back to center line, and said, we know that some people are going to need opioids for a long time because of chronic pain. We also know that other people are getting opioids too early in their pain management, and so let's set some guidelines on how to deal with that, and particularly how to deal with other types of pain management other than opioids. And so what it's going to do, hopefully, is give more information both to doctors, the administration, politicians, all these other entities that are involved, of saying, we want to make sure that decision gets placed back in the clinic office with the patient and their physician, and not so much outside of that. And that way our hands aren't quite as tied. We can treat that chronic pain, but at the same time keep opioid issues under control.
Hey, Doctor, just quickly, how many people suffer from something that would require an opioid to help them?
Oh, Savannah, it is millions of people every year, because, there are people that have sickle cell disease. There are people that have cancer treatments or ongoing cancer pain. So these are, again, you see the estimate there, 20.4% of people suffer from chronic pain most days. Not all of them need opioid treatment, but a lot of them will need opioid treatment. And these are people that were being not mistreated, but unfortunately forgotten to a certain extent with the old guidelines. Hopefully the new guidelines will help address that.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Dr. Torres. Do you think this is going to address just the ongoing opioid crisis?
I think it will. And the opioid crisis is not going away. And we've seen preliminary findings from 2021 that there was a 15% increase in opioid deaths. And unfortunately, teenagers, for the first time since for 10 years, actually, their deaths went up as well. And so it's one of those things that we want to make sure that we keep an eye on. But at the same time, we have that dual mandate here to make sure we get the opioid crisis under control, but also at the same time manage that chronic pain and treat that chronic pain in people who need this. This is a drug that is needed by some, but is certainly overused by many. And so we need to make sure that we get that under control.
Dr. John Torres, super important information there. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
After Roe versus Wade was overturned, many predicted that the number of men seeking vasectomies could increase. Well, figures are now showing that has happened.
Yeah, for example, at just one Planned Parenthood clinic in St. Louis, requests for appointments have, get this, quadrupled in the last year. With such demand, they decided to take their services on the road, in fact. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa joins us now from Springfield, Missouri, with more on the mobile vasectomy clinic. Maggie, good morning. So, just how large has this demand gotten since specifically the overturning of Roe versus Wade?
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit it on the nose with that appointments requests having quadrupled at that one clinic. Like, we're seeing that kind of uniformly across the board as far as demand in various pockets of the country, different regions. Like, it has surged pretty much everywhere. And another yardstick that a lot of people are citing, Google searches in the wake of Roe v. Wade falling. Google said searches for the phrase "get a vasectomy" hit an all-time high, with another study noting that overall online searches from different platforms spiked 850%. People in those searches specifically searching where to get a vasectomy. And now, guys, we're seeing those searches were very serious.
So what is it you are seeing there? Are people actually taking advantage of this mobile clinic?
Yeah, so this, I'm just going to be blunt, this mobile clinic, which is literally clad with cartoon sperm and the word vasectomy, like it's very clear what this is for. It's on the road on a 3-day tour. It started in St. Louis. It's going to be here in Springfield later today. Appointments start in just like a couple of hours, and then it's going to go to Joplin, Missouri, because they say the rural communities want these appointments too. And they opened up allowing for, I believe, 60 appointments over 3 days, and those filled up like that, guys. So the demand is very, very clear, and everybody's kind of stepping up now that they have the opportunity.
Sounds like it's not discreet.
Yeah,
so.
you can see some of that art, I suppose, on,
Yes.
yeah, covering it. Maggie, I know you met some men who have had the procedure. I mean, what do they have to say about it for those at home who are curious?
Definitely. So we talked to several men who were going into and coming out of the clinic, and a surprising number of them, frankly, were very willing to go on camera. A lot of them had a variety of reasons that we actually heard as for wanting to get the procedure. Some of them said, you know, my partner and I have kids. We're done having children. Another man said, we want to travel, and we just want to make sure that we have the money and time to do that. All of them had had conversations with the women in their lives about what women go through for reproductive care. And knowing this is a 15-minute outpatient procedure, they said they were very willing to do it. And I'll note, what you're about to see, we talked to a lot of these guys after the procedure was done. So take a listen to these interviews.
Great. It was awesome. It wasn't bad at all. Should have done it when I was 35.
If I knew it was this easy and quick, I thought it'd be like an hour or something like that to get it done. But yeah, I would have got it done a long time ago.
So again, that last man, he told me the first thing he said was knowing what women go through during childbirth. He said, frankly, this was nothing. Another man told me, I've been hurt worse playing softball. And he said, again, given what women go through, this was nothing. And guys, I'll just note, again, everybody having their own reasons. For a lot of people, it's political. For a lot of people, it's personal or some sort of hybrid. But it was really interesting hearing the conversations between couples, because with a lot of these men, their partners came with them. One man said, you know, I'm really glad to take one for the team here in my marriage. Cut to his wife's interview about 5 minutes later, and she goes, yeah, I made the call. He's doing this. And so, wow. A lot of stories playing out here, and again, a lot of appointments filling up.
Whatever the reason, it's sparking these conversations, which is great to see. And it's excellent to see that communication in relationships.
That first guy, I mean, he said it was awesome.
Yeah.
That's
an endorsement. You can see the commercial
procedure.
now.
Yeah, all right. Maggie, thank you so much. Really, really interesting. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Coming up, the constant barrage of election news and campaign ads is probably causing a lot of us to just stress out.
That's right. We're going to take a look at what the election cycle is doing to our mental well-being and the best ways for you to cope. That's up next.
Welcome back. With just 4 days until Election Day, politics is creating a lot of anxiety among Americans.
Absolutely. According to a poll, in fact, by the American Psychiatric Association, 63% of adults say they're worried about the outcomes of this year's midterm elections. And more people are focused on the state of mental health in the U.S. as well. According to the poll, 79% of adults say lawmakers should give more attention to the state of mental health here in the U.S.
Let's bring in Professor Leonie Huddy, a SUNY Distinguished Professor and Chair of the Department of Political Science at Stony Brook University, and Rachel Rubai, National Healthcare Reporter for The Washington Post, to take a closer look at all this. Thank you both for joining us. Professor, let's start with you. That study makes it pretty clear adults are stressed about these elections and election-related news. Let's dig deeper here. What's behind all this anxiety?
You know, one of the things about elections and anxiety is that anxiety is driven by uncertainty and a lack of sense of control. And so elections are incredibly uncertain in terms of their outcome, and it's hard for us to control them. And so people tend to think about all of the worst things that could happen due to an outcome of an election, and that just generates more of this negative thinking, anxiety about what could happen. I also think there's a lot of related factors around this, which involves discussions with friends and family. We've heard a lot about that, about arguments, disagreements, and those are also incredibly stressful for people. These conflicts within the family cause a lot of worry.
Especially since many of us will be around a table together just a couple weeks after the midterm elections for Thanksgiving. Rachel, I want to bring you in now and talk about kind of a potentially here more direct and tangible impact, which is that the outcome of these midterms could impact mental health care funding because of the future of Medicaid here. Talk to us about what that means for specific types of treatment. What exactly is at stake here?
So thank you very much for having me. And as you mentioned, Medicaid, it's the largest payer of behavioral health services. So one state to really look at is South Dakota. Now, that's the only state this year where expanding Medicaid is on the ballot. And now Medicaid expansion was originally a part of the Affordable Care Act that was passed in 2010. Now, 2 years later, the Supreme Court made expanding Medicaid voluntary for states, and there are about a dozen states at the moment that have not expanded the federal state program.
So, Professor Huddy, let's talk more about what Savannah sort of brought up here, which is the APA study shows the election isn't just having an impact on people mentally, but socially, too. And we're thinking of that with the holidays coming up here soon, holiday parties, whether it's family or friends, whoever it is you're going to see. I mean, talk to us about that social aspect and the best ways to cope.
Well, we certainly don't want to have those violent arguments. So I think we know we can try and convince other people about our point of view, but it's probably not going to work. So one of the things is to try and focus on points of commonality rather than the things that we disagree about. And we know that even factual information is in dispute right now. People cannot agree on the basic facts. And so you can berate and scream and yell as much as you want. It's not going to work. And so what matters instead is to remember you have a warm feeling for your family members. Hopefully you can initiate some greater sense of warmth, empathy, talk about the things that you're not divided on. And remember that you like them. This really helps. Once you start hating them over the table, it is all over. It's not good.
Yeah. To quote Sally Field, you like me, you really like me.
And also maybe if you don't like them in the moment, you probably love them at least.
That's a good one too.
Try and focus on that part.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, you need these people. They're part of your family. You're going to have to deal with them in the future. Screaming and yelling, you can repair that later, but it's costly. Very costly. And what we don't realize is it really is very arousing in bad ways for us physically. So not only do we dwell on this later, but blood pressure rises. We're upset. These are not good things. The holidays are supposed to be a fun, relaxing time for us.
Absolutely. Keep that in mind these next few weeks, especially as we're heading into them. All right, Rachel, I do want to ask you about something that really surprised me. This poll that we've been discussing found 71% of adults are more likely to vote for a political candidate who makes their investment in mental health a priority. I mean, honestly, though, I don't think that's messaging we hear very often. It's certainly not anything that's in ads or anything like that, specifically from candidates. So what do we know about how much of a focus some candidates in some places are actually putting on mental health right up into this election?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I have reviewed dozens and dozens of ads this election cycle. And what we've really seen are the main messages from Democrats has been abortion. And then we have seen some messaging on healthcare, but it has taken a back seat to abortion. And Republicans were really seeing them hit Democrats on immigration, crime, and inflation. And that all goes to say when I've reviewed ads, I haven't seen a ton that just solely focus on mental health. Now, one thing that I did find interesting in kind of looking at how mental health is playing in the election is last month in the Colorado Senate race, the two candidates sat down and there was a forum that was specifically on mental health and asking candidates questions on mental health. Now I would not say that that's something that we've seen across the country. I think for Democrats, we've seen abortion be their biggest message.
Rachel Rubin and Professor Huddy, thank you both so much for your time this morning. Important conversation.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, a new jobs report is out this morning.
Yeah, we'll break down the numbers and what it all means for the state of our economy. You are watching Morning News Now. That's next.
Breaking this morning, we got the new jobs numbers for the month of October.
That's right. The economy added 261,000 jobs in October, which is quite a bit higher than expected. The employment rate, though, inched higher to 3.7%. Here to help us understand these numbers is NBC News business and data reporter Brian Chung and Barron's reporter Carlton English. Thank you both for joining us. Brian, we'll get right to you here at the big board with us in studio. Walk us through these numbers. The fact that it is a little bit higher, was expected to be about 195, I think you told us, and it looks like the jobs market, therefore, is pretty strong, right? What's that mean?
Yeah, let's contextualize it within the other figures that we've seen. So again, September, we saw 263,000 jobs added, but the number that we just got, 261,000 jobs added in the month of October. And another number I want to highlight here is, again, what you just mentioned, that 3.7% unemployment rate. That is a little bit higher than the 3.5% that we had seen in September, but does show you that the labor market is still chugging along quite strong. What's also interesting is that we saw a revision to the September numbers. So it was 263,000 last month. This was actually revised now higher to 315,000. So there's a lot of numbers here. But overall, the story is that Americans are still getting jobs. There's still a lot of options out there. Where did we see the job gains this month? Healthcare up 53,000. Professional and technical services, so think engineering, science, and also manufacturing, getting a big boost in the month of October as well.
So, Carlton, this begs a huge question right now, the impact on the Fed. Do you think they're going to go full steam ahead with the aggressive rate hikes, or might they have to pull back a little bit? What could happen here?
Yeah, I think that this is exactly a confirmation of what the Federal Reserve was talking about earlier this week when it had its 75 basis point hike, where we still see a very hot job market. And to put these figures in perspective, and I do need to compliment Brian on his fantastic chart work, but when you look at the pre-pandemic average of new monthly jobs added, it was below 200,000 a month. Obviously, we are still very much ahead of this. So the Fed really does have to continue to make the point or see evidence that, as weird as this sounds, they want to see the job market weaken.
Brian, every month, the jobs numbers, unemployment rate, Fed interest rate hikes have been big news because of this economy we're in. Right now, it's super big news because, of course, next week is midterm elections. How does this impact that, and how much do you think voters are paying attention?
Yeah, this is the buzzer beater report, if you will, the last read on the labor market before the midterm election next week. But it's not really the job market that's getting a lot of attention in this economy. That's a huge bright spot that tells you we're not in a recession. But where you get the recessionary fears is on inflation. And we actually do have some look into the inflationary picture from this report based off of average hourly earnings. How much are workers in America making? This is the pace of change over the last year. And what we did see in this report is that we actually saw average hourly earnings tick down a little bit from the 5% pace that we saw last month. It's just a smidge down to about 4.7%. That was as expected. So what this tells you is that, yes, it's starting to come down a little bit. Now, it's not a good thing necessarily on a household level to see your average hourly earnings going lower, especially when inflation is at 8%. But this is something the Federal Reserve is watching very closely because there's this feedback. Maybe if businesses are having to pay more, that increases the cost that they pass on to the customers. So this is something that the Federal Reserve very closely watching, as Carlton was just saying as well.
And Carlton, you also just said, as weird as it sounds, this good news in the jobs market can be bad news for the Fed and inflation. Do you think the central bank has done enough to explain to people why sacrificing a strong jobs market, which certainly a lot of people like, that's better than having high inflation, especially if it leads to a recession?
Great question.
Yeah, I think that the Fed has tried, but it is a very tough thing to explain at the household level, because what the Fed seems to be saying to individuals is, hey, yeah, we're sorry you might be losing a job as we continue to raise rates, but trust me, it's for the good of the economy. And if you're one of those unemployed people, you're saying, okay, how is this helping things? But I think the thing that we do need to keep in mind is, yes, we all want to see wage growth. I mean, we all love it when we get raises, bonuses, things like that. But for the sake of the greater economy, when you have everyone seeing wages go up, in effect, nobody's wages go up because that is an upward push on inflation. So the Fed has to really walk this tightrope and really try to get this inflation figure under control, because while the Fed may be able to manage a recession, when inflation runs away, I mean, we're talking about 8-9% in the U.S. You have countries that are dealing with inflation above 90%, and we do not want to end up like that.
Absolutely. Carlton and Brian, thank you both so much. We appreciate you on this breaking news.
Thank you.
Now, Twitter offices are closed today as employees await a massive round of layoffs.
Big story today. CNBC's Pippa Stevens joins us now with that and more Money News. Pippa, good morning.
Hey guys, Twitter has told employees it will begin those layoffs today, according to a company-wide email sent out yesterday. Now, the message didn't spell out the extent of the cuts, but reports say it could be as much as half of the workforce, or about 3,700 jobs. Employees will be notified of their status by noon Eastern time, but some employees have already been tweeting they've lost access to their work emails. And PayPal is going to make it easier for merchants to accept payments right on their iPhones. The company is adding support for Apple's Tap to Pay technology into the PayPal and Venmo apps. That means stores will be able to accept contactless credit or debit cards, as well as mobile wallets without an external card reader. PayPal also recently struck a deal to have Venmo added as a payment option on Amazon. And The King of the Monsters is coming back to movie theaters. Toho, the Japanese studio that created Godzilla nearly 70 years ago, will release a new film next year. It comes after the recent box office success of the radioactive Mega Lizard with the Godzilla film in 2014 and Godzilla vs. Kong last year. Those movies are among the most in demand on streaming services. Godzilla vs. Kong raking in more than $460 million in global sales.
Wow.
I still have not seen the original Godzilla one of these days.
Start with that.
Yeah,
Do that one
yeah.
first, and then you'll be hooked.
Yeah. All right, Pippa, thank you so much. And coming up, all the movies, TV, and music you can't miss this weekend.
Not just Godzilla. From 90s throwbacks to a look inside the life of one of TV's biggest stars, we're going to break down what you should be checking out this weekend. That's next.
Welcome back. We all know Taylor Swift fans are renowned for their loyalty. That's right. But her new tour is causing some of them dilemmas. Swift launched a list of her dates for her upcoming Eras tour. If you haven't heard, it's her first tour in 5 years. But some fans, they are heartbroken because, get this, the tour dates in their city clash with their wedding dates. Not only does this mean missing the concert, which would be a tragedy, but brides also fear it could impact hotels and parking for their guests. Some fans went into crisis mode. One bride to be even questioning on social media if she might need to reschedule. But other fans are seeing an opportunity and considering sending Swift an invite to their big day while she's in town and said, you know, sorry to break your hearts even further, brides, but I tried that.
You did.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
So not even a video. But,
You're gonna just
but I'm
have
still
to get
loyal. I am still loyal.
You're just going to have to get married on that day.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's enough. All right. Get your popcorn or coffee ready because it's Friday, which means it's time for our can't miss list. All the shows and TV shows and movies and shows and TV shows you should check out this week.
That's right. Entertainment journalist Shagun Oduoluwu joins us right now, and we are so excited to have you here on set with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I want to go back to Taylor Swift. Like, what is, you cancel your wedding for Tay-Tay? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you're married now, so
you just have to go in another city, so that's fine. But the hotel thing is kind of valid, I would say. That is probably going to be a stress.
At the concert.
All right. Yeah, right. Okay, let's talk about movies that are going to be in theaters this weekend.
Yeah, so we have got a lot. Like, where do we want to start? Because we've got hard-hitting dramas. We've got, you know, we've got dark comedies. Let's take a look.
Oh, no sound.
So this is Armageddon Time, is that right?
Yeah, so Armageddon Time is James Gray. It is, if you're familiar with his work, he's the director for Ad Astra. He writes and directs his own stuff, so he really pours himself into this. This is kind of a Reagan-era coming-of-age drama. It's got Jeremy Strong that we know from Succession, two-time, you know, Emmy winner. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it, you know, two-time Oscar winner. It's got Anne Hathaway, Oscar winner. So he's swinging for the fences in this, and it's about like a young kid growing up in New York. So you're going to see like the city during that time where, you know, what was going on in the 80s in New York. But fantastic cast. This is one of those movies where, you know, it's you got to bring your like thesaurus and your book to it. Like this is an intellectual piece. It's a thinker. There's no aliens. There's no superheroes. Like this is a movie, well written, well directed. You're going to want to sit with this and just, you know, kind of watch it, let it wash over you, like most of his movies.
All right. Any other movies we should be checking out?
Yes. Okay. So there is a dark comedy that's got Toni Collette. It's got Anna Faris. It's got Kathleen Turner and like Kathleen.
Dang, what a cast.
And Kathleen's voice just sounds like whiskey and cigar smoke, and
the same.
And yeah, just saying. Yeah, and it's called The Estate. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to miss. Think Knives Out, but just with a lot more vulgarity. Right?
What?
Yeah, tons of vulgarity, just cursing and swearing. It's got David Duchovny in it, who I'm always a fan of. I really miss his show Californication. I thought that was just a great show. But it's about two sisters who are trying to chisel money from their dying aunt. and then find out that everyone in the family who hated this aunt realized that she's rich and are all coming to come back for the money.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
it's got a lot of.
This is in theaters?
It's in theaters, limited release, but definitely watch it. If you like swearing and people just making complete buffoons of themselves and vulgarity, this is it.
Sign us up.
We've only got a minute to get through everything else.
Okay.
So let's quickly talk about what's streaming, if you're staying in it all.
Yes. Okay. So if you're streaming Blockbuster, it's on Netflix. Okay, and it's about the last Blockbuster.
I've been there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bend, Oregon.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's about the last Blockbuster show, but it's not a documentary. It's more of a sitcom, and it's a very diverse cast. I think when you start to watch it, you're going to see that they tried a little too hard to fit too many things in each bucket. I watched the whole series, easy to binge, easy to watch, but the jokes come a little bit slower. But it's got my guy JB Smooth in it, and anything JB Smooth is in, I'm going to watch. But also, the first time that you're going to see an interracial, like, kind of romance with an Asian character and a Hispanic character, and you don't see that on TV, and I appreciate that a lot. So watch Blockbuster. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks awesome. All right, we only have 20 seconds here, but tell us about the whole Wakanda Forever soundtrack is now out. We knew Rihanna was on it. What else?
Right. Okay. So Thames has a haunting rendition of No Woman, No Cry, Bob Marley's classic. Wakanda Forever has got the best trailers that have ever been done for a movie. So go get this album. New Rihanna music. Thames wrote the song that Rihanna is singing. Thames has the rendition of No Woman, No Cry. Just watch it because Wakanda Forever. It's the greatest thing. Greatest movie trailers, greatest album. Just go watch it. Everything Wakanda.
So much good stuff. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
That does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
But the news continues right now.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.